Hi, Hoon and Eunice. This is Christina from The Upcoming. To start things off, would you like to tell us a bit about Barney and Grace, your characters in Your Friends and Neighbors?
So Grace is a first generation Korean American whose family comes from pretty extravagant wealth in South Korea, and she was educated in the States and met and fell in love with this handsome fella, and much to her parents' chagrin, married Barney. And now they live she has a very, happy home with two daughters, and she doesn't know the meaning of budgets.
Barney and Grace in the world of Your Friends and Neighbors are a couple that live deep in the heart of this community of affluent and successful professional people. Amongst all of their peers, they're the couple where you kind of see a sort of functioning working marriage. And I think that gives a sort of unique insight in our particular world. It's not that they're not without struggles. They certainly have their shares of ups and downs and things they disagree on. But through the show, we see that they are fighting very hard to be with one another and to preserve what they have at the core of their relationship. Barney in this show is Coop's best friend and his financial manager. So as Coop's fortunes begin to evolve and shift, he is taken along for the ride in a way that he's often not very pleased about. But Barney, unlike Grace, doesn't come from extravagant wealth. He's a Korean American who doesn't speak Korean. He's in a position often where he's, I think trying to prove that he's worthy of this woman that he's married and the life that he's helped put together with her.
What kind of research or behind the scenes work did you do to prepare for your characters?
I acquired millions of dollars, which was tough.
You did not tell me that.
No. I think for myself, in terms of researching, it's usually down to the script first and just trying to plumb the depths of what makes a character tick. Fortunately, living for a long time in New York and around Boston, et cetera, you're in contact with a lot of the people that this show sort of portrays, and it's not so difficult to observe a little bit. But at the core of it, people aren't going to be tuning into the show to see just what fashion is being worn or what cars are being driven. They're hopefully going to tune into the show to see people struggling to make sense of the world that they've built for themselves.
Mm-hmm. What were your initial impressions of your characters, and did that change over time?
With the first couple scripts that we received, I didn't have much to do or say, so I spoke to Jonathan Tropper, our showrunner, and we had a really, really great conversation. He was actually on vacation, literally on a beach, and he's still doing work and calling me. I was like, you don't have to do this right now. And he was like, no, it's fine. And we just had a really great conversation about who this woman is and, where she comes from and what that means for her place in this, mini bubble society of Westmont Village and what her family means to her. And that really brought so much grounding and so much information to me, even if he wasn't prescriptive about, how I need to feel about her, but just knowing her values really led me through a lot of things, even when, I'm just kind of there to support a lot of people, a lot of the great actors around me. Knowing where Grace comes from in her internal compass was a really big help in approaching that.
When I first read for Barney, I was very tickled. Jonathan has written incredible characters that I've been allowed to inhabit, and Barney strikes a slightly different chord in that he's much less in control than some of those other characters, and he's often at the whims of the people around him and his friends who are holding secrets from him, etc. So it was really fun to play a character that, particularly in our world, I think gets to play a little bit more to the comedy of what's going on and the surrealism of what's going on. So it was great fun.
What aspects of your character are you hoping to explore in the second season?
Grace is one of the only women in the show that does not have a job. She's a homemaker. She works really hard at that. But I'm curious to see, how she takes charge of her life and the life around her.
I think I'm particularly interested in seeing how the marriage between Barney and Grace continues to evolve. They've taken a good amount of care to show us the interior world of that relationship, and I think that's purposeful. There aren't a lot of relationships in this world that aren't that aren't sort of fraught or, sort of hidden or illicit, etc. So to see a marriage that is a work in progress, I think brings a different sort of color and timbre to the whole show.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.